But the answer to the questions will be only based upon the quality of the work. And if time and again the reports are thrown at us, please tell us what is this. I think we are bound to lose out. One good thing that is arising out of the entire discussion today is the Reserve Bank of India agrees on one point very clearly. Wherever the branch audit will go out, the concurrent audit will come in. And we have been able to prepare a concept paper, hand it over to the government. Government has already agreed on that. That wherever branch audit will not be there, the concurrent auditor will definitely step in. And there will be a uniform audit fee structure. There will be a uniform frequency of the reporting. There will be a uniform audit program structure. That much I can assure you. I think this is one of the major efforts that we are making right now. And Reserve Bank of India has already agreed and now has referred the matter to the IBA. And now we are pursuing the matter with the IBA, and if it goes through, I think so far as overall professional work is concerned, it will not get reduced. Overall fee part is concerned, it will not get reduced under any circumstances, rather it may go up. But yes, the time devotion will increase, there is no doubt, because in concurrent audit you definitely require more time devotion. But it is also a matter of fact, the fee level will definitely go up so far as the concurrent audits are concerned. Fee level will not remain what it is today. Fee level of the concurrent audit is bound to go up, that I can assure you. I think that is one effort that we are making in this particular direction, and I think we shall be able to succeed so far as this issue is concerned. Another point, friends, that one will like to make out is, I think, to what extent, and this is one issue which is becoming hot and hot every day, to what extent the profession will be able to keep ourselves away from the issue of the corruption. It is a very sad part today that a person who has been charged with causing a loss of 1,70,000 crore rupees to the exchequer, the Supreme Court has to ask the CBI, why you have not asked this man so far a single question. But a person who has been bribed, or who has to the extent of 6 lakh rupees or 10 lakh rupees or 15 lakh rupees have been put behind the bars. It's a very ironical situation. I am not trying to defend anybody. Let me be very clear. Bribing is bad, it is definitely bad. But then overall system has to improve. Why I am raising this issue is, to the extent we keep on harping on the concept of true and fair view in the periods to come, it is not going to work. It is definitely not going to work. It may not work after 5 years, it may not work after 10 years, but accountancy profession will have to sit up. IFAC will have to sit up and start rethinking on what kind of reporting is required. If we continue to have more and more of the disclaimers that this is the responsibility of the management, I have resorted to this and this basis only, I think the accountancy profession will become irrelevant in the periods to come. Accountancy profession to remain relevant will have to assume greater responsibility, greater accountability. And then only you will be able to command the higher fees also. Unfortunately, we have always tried to say that we were not supposed to do this also, we were not supposed to do this also, we were not supposed to do this also. So far, the only talk that the profession has been engaged in is whether I am really supposed to detect the frauds or not. There is a difference between even the fraud and corruption, if you ask me. What I am trying to really emphasize here is, before you people, pardon me for saying so, if each one of us knows that in a particular project 10 to 25% of the cost goes somewhere else, and this is represented in the form of unsubstantiated expenditures, can we remain immune later on at any given point of time? Or do we have some responsibility? At least in India, I can dare say, Indian reporting is far better than any other reporting. Indian audit is much better than any other audit in the world, for that matter. Indian chartered accountant is much better than any other accountant in the world. That also I can guarantee. There is no doubt in my mind. The reason being, Indian auditor does the substantive audit. He does not do the documentation. I think somewhere or the other we will have to start learn that if we continue to do only documentation of this size and audit size starts getting reducing and gets reduced to this level, I think will become irrelevant. Because every time if I have to talk of control system compliances only, I don't think that's going to remain relevant. Audit is an audit is an audit. I think that has been the term that we all have been using. Whenever we have been talking of whether audit and assurance standards should be applicable to small and medium enterprises audit or not, every time every accountant says, every body says that audit is an audit is an audit, then where is the question of reducing the size of the audit and increasing the size of the documentation? Till the time we will keep thinking of reducing our liability by creating the documents, I think we are really reducing our roles as the auditors. We are reducing our role as the accountants. We must start some thinking in the process. And I can tell you the small and medium practitioners in this country are second to none. Their audit quality is better than the much bigger firms who claim themselves to be the auditors. Let me say also that. Satyam, people have been talking of, press has been talking of, RBI also referred to that yesterday in one of the central auditors meeting. And I had to tell the RBI also yesterday, Satyam was never an accounting scandal. I am not absolving the auditors, let me also tell you that in the same breath. But Satyam was never an accounting scandal. Satyam is a failure of all pillars of the corporate governance. In Satyam, promoters failed, regulators failed, independent directors failed, the auditors failed. Which pillar of corporate governance did not fail in Satyam? And to me, the most important pillar which failed in Satyam was the independent directors. If the chairman of the audit committee, who happened to be the dean of ISB, International School of Business Studies, had asked simple question in any of the years, why 2,100 crore rupees were lying in the current account? I think I need not say you, current account is a non-interest yielding account. And if 2,100 crore rupees were lying in the current account, causing a loss of more than 200 crore rupees every year to the organization, had he asked the question once and gone into the depth thereof, it would have been known that this deposit does not exist at all, which has come to surface later on. The problem is the independent director never asked. Another independent director kept on getting a consultancy of more than 75 lakh rupees every year and still he was independent director. That's the beauty of it. The beauty of the independent directors is we have not laid down any qualifications. We have not laid down any experience. In one of the listed companies, I'm quoting you, in one of the listed companies, the barber to the MD was made the independent director. And in his experience and qualification was written personality development maker. What other things you can expect? If a barber is to be made the independent director in the name of personality development maker, then he will definitely develop the personality of the company also. There is no doubt in my mind. And what kind of personality of the company will develop? I think only the world will see, and the world has seen at least in few of the cases which have happened. Right since 12th of February, I can tell you with absolute conviction, we embarked upon the path that we must be able to, if at all there is any erosion of the credibility of the institutes, if at all, I'm using the word, we must rebuild that credibility. We must restore that credibility by taking the disciplinary action much faster and also resorting to certain actions which can really, whereby we can go to the government and say, we are the only institute which has been able to do this. We are the only institute which has hosted on the website of the institute the action taken against our members in the last 3 years and the punishment imposed thereupon. We are the only institute in this, I think, country, not only in the country, in the world, where in the last 9 months we have been able to clear 114 disciplinary cases. And in some of the cases, the punishment is as high as removal of the name for 5 years. I think housing scams happened in the banks.